So you speak about professionally, if you see that the charges can't stick, you will pull the brakes.
The brakes, yeah.
How about those matters where, like Kwabena Dufo, you know, the banking crisis issues, where you agree to take a 60%, you know, and let them go? People have questioned that.
Yes.
And that is bias. It is simply because you cannot be seen to prosecute your own. Like Collins Dada, like Kwabena Dufo, you just can't prosecute them.
That is not so. You see, the banking sector cases were being treated differently, right, by me. Because I took the view that despite the weak nature of the charges, okay, so for instance, I'll give you an example. If you say that financial loss has been caused by a bank because the bank took liquidity support from the Bank of Ghana, and that liquidity support, you know, was misapplied, okay? How was it misapplied? Now, if you take banks generally, right, banks are in the business of taking risk. They lend, you know, and sometimes those who take the loans default, probably not due to anything, I mean, you know, any fault of theirs. They may default because the business has gone bust and so on and so forth, all right? So if you want to criminalize the banks on account of liquidity support, then I am sure all these, I mean, banks that we have in the system, every one of them will go to jail, all right? It doesn't make sense for you to say that because liquidity support was given, all right, and they did not apply it in the manner that you thought they ought to have applied it. Okay, so in the case of the Dufos, right, it wasn't the case that they stole the money. It wasn't the case that they pocketed the money. There was no evidence on file that, you know, I mean, they did anything that personally benefited them. In fact, they were not charged with, stealing and so on and so forth. Okay, so what we're looking at was the negligence on their part, maybe the what do you call it? Fictitious entries into their books so that the books were good, so that Bank of Ghana will give them more money to, you know, continue to be a bank and so on and so forth. Okay, so at the end of the day, what I then said was that for all the banking cases, okay, I mean, I assessed them. The evidence was, also weak, just like, you know, the rest of the cases. But I said to myself that, look, people's, savings were lost, all right? Yes, they have to take responsibility somewhat for all of that. I mean, the civil matter was also, in court at the time.
That's right.
Okay, so I took the view that, look, if, I have to withdraw the charges, okay, then you have to, commit to bring in assets worth 60% of what was, filed in the criminal matter. That was, and I made that offer to all the banking sector persons who were standing trial. It wasn't only the Dufos. I made it to Beige Capital, all right. I made it to the rest of them I've forgotten the tall list.
People have been curious about the fact that these cases somehow concern significant persons in your party, the NDC.
Well,
the Ofosu-Ampofo cases, talk about the Snit OBS matter,
yeah.
Millions, of dollars to recover from there as well. How does that happen? That's too much of a coincidence.
Well, I don't know whether it is too much of a coincidence, but I think, and I do not want to sound like I am basically, I don't know how to put it without, sounding, offensive, but I think that the cases, most of them, as I've said earlier on, were poorly investigated. They were poorly investigated. And because they were...
And they do not have a future
Right, yeah, that is the assessment that I came to. I remember my very good, friend, lawyer Tadiosori wrote a piece, okay, with respect to the nolle prosequis that are filed, okay, in which he basically says, look, if you have an attorney general who objectively assesses a matter and then comes to the conclusion that it is not worth, proceeding to trial, you don't expect him, to take that matter to trial. And something I keep telling people that, look, they should watch this space. They should watch out when there is malfeasance by a minister, all right, chief executive, or other appointee of this government. That is when they will see that the allegations that I am treating NDC people with case gloves is not well-founded, okay? I think, look, just do a comparison of the cases that I have filed, okay? In most of them, I have been able to show that there was theft, all right? Okay, so you take, Kyeremeh Dubois, very clearly, the $7 million moving from a public account into a private account and disbursed for private purposes is theft.
Is there evidence of disbursement of that $7 million into for private purposes?
There is plentiful evidence.
The BNC director accounts.
Yes.
We have seen the letter from Mr. Kyeremeh, Joshua.
Yes.
Who ordered those accounts to be opened?
the dead man. So we'll come to, when the trial starts, we'll come to his letter.
Do I get you to suggest that you suspect that
I suspect that letter
is fictitious?
I think it is. I think so. But even if that were the case, and if Mr. Kyeremeh were alive today, I would have arrested and prosecuted him for that act. Okay? The reason is simple, Samson. We have director of, operations account, all right, which is a public account duly opened for the National Signals Bureau that can be used for operations. So you don't need to set up a private entity, take the money from that private entity, from the public account, put it into the private entity in order to do disbursement. Does it make sense at all for you? If, for instance, the Israeli company were paid directly from the public account, what would have been wrong with that? Why create another, a private entity and then use that to make the payment? Then subsequently, we find that the money is being disbursed, all right, for private purpose. So I keep asking
private
people,
purpose. Can you prove?
No, yeah. So in March of 2020, Kyeremeh Dubois actually wrote emails instructing his bankers to put 16 million Ghana cedis of that money, okay, into fixed deposit accounts in his name. Is that a public purpose?
We're told about how national security operates. For example, the properties that you list.
Yes.
Can you trace these monies to those properties?
Yes, I can.
We are being shown, and as it is panning out in the courtroom, that your case is crumbling by the day.
No. That is far from the
because the formerly accused, now your witness, is now giving evidence to corroborate that these movements of money and the operations were normal and standard.
No. You see, they were asking questions about movement of money with Ghana must go banks, that whether that is normal at the national security. And then she said yes. All right. That had nothing to do with the 49 million. She wasn't answering the question to the effect that the 49 million was brought to national security in Ghana must go banks. Okay. She was answering a question that is general about national security operations and how they move money and so on and so forth. Okay. But my point is that if you look at our evidence, look at the witness statement of the investigator, all right, you will see how the monies were spent. And I've just given you
in the
one
witness
example.
statement of the investigator.
Yes.
It corroborates what you say in your filings in the court.
Yes.
To say that the security cyber defense system device was not delivered.
Yes.
But we have seen letters from the Israeli company confirming that these were delivered.
No. There were two. If what the Israelis wrote is true, right, then we have to have two pieces of equipment delivered for him to, not be guilty.
I see.
Yes. Because you look at the evidence of the Director of Finance, there was one that was legitimately paid for directly from the public account. And that is the one that, Comrade Dubohe and his lawyers want Ghanaians to believe was delivered pursuant to the purchase, the purported purchase purchase transaction that he engaged in. All right. So if he has to, be exonerated, he has to present two pieces of equipment. The cyber, equipment has to be two. But you see, the disbursement, the trail of disbursement of the funds, okay, the paper trail is there. The paper trail is there. And I don't see how you can say that because you are national security, of course, your expenditure should not be as transparent as, a normal organization, okay? Because you have to have money to pay informants, you have to have money to do subterranean operations and so on and so forth. Yeah. But that is not what the money was used for. So if you say that you are going to buy equipment.
You have just confirmed that the money was used to pay for, at least part of it was used to pay for one device, which is delivered.
No, not part of it. Not part of that money.
This is separate.
This is separate. This is separate. So we have invoices, genuine invoices from the director BNC account that went straight to the Israelis to pay for the cyber security equipment. All right. And then he mimicked that transaction in order to steal the $7 million that I am, prosecuting.
So what do we make